Protests in Hong Kong escalate, and NMU sends books to an alumni's classroom.
Later, weather with Maya Kurth and sports with Devontae Stein. Hi, I'm Joseph Sigourney.
And I'm Maya Kurth, and this is Public Eye News. A Northern Michigan University alumni was seeking help for her classroom. Christy Center Townsend, who graduated from NMU in 2011, is now a high school English teacher at Springport Public Schools. Townsend started a campaign at the beginning of the school year to get more books for her classroom. She says, quote, "A classroom library full of interesting topics, authors, and genres helps students get hooked on reading as a habit. Even reading 10 minutes a day can have a massive impact on the number of words a child is exposed to and build a college and career-ready vocabulary," end quote. Thankfully, NMU professor Christy Edge saw the campaign and donated boxes of brand new hardcover books. Townsend is very grateful for the donations and says the books will be very useful to her students. The Supreme Court in Michigan is holding a hearing Wednesday regarding a proposal about electronics in courtrooms. This proposal is causing a stir because courts charge money for copies of the documents, and if this passes, courts would lose a lot of revenue. People would be allowed to digitally take notes and contact those outside of the courtroom if this proposal passes.
8 people have been sentenced to prison for their roles in dealing with crystal methamphetamine in the western Upper Peninsula. All defendants are to receive sentences from 27 months to 188 months in prison. All sentences were accumulation of the long-term investigation by the Upper Peninsula's Substance Enforcement Team, the Bureau of Indian Affairs, Homeland Security Investigations, and the Bureau of Alcohol, Tobacco, Firearms, and Explosives into methamphetamine distribution and illicit firearms possession on the west end of the Upper Peninsula. A New Jersey man faces allegations he conspired to carry out spray paint vandalism attacks 2 months ago against synagogues in the Michigan and Wisconsin. The synagogues that were vandalized with swastikas and other images on September 21st and 22nd were in Hancock, Michigan, and Racine, Wisconsin. The Philadelphia Inquirer reported 18-year-old Richard Tobin and allegedly recruited people on a neo-Nazi social network. Tobin told investigators he considered suicide attacks and once sat with a machete in a parking lot of a New Jersey mall, considering an attack on black shoppers. The match-state judge ordered Tobin to remain incarcerated Friday pending mental health evaluation.
Over the weekend in Crystal Falls, over 60 hunters brought in their deer into a DNR testing station to check for chronic wasting disease. Staff from the DNR were happy to have the warm weather for the weekend because it allows the testing process of the deer to go faster as they have to remove the lymph nodes to properly test deer. Andrea Lusty, a hunter who brought a deer to the testing center, says, quote, "We all have these natural resources and we as stewards need to be able to partake in using them and enjoying them. And part of being a human is that we are the top predator, so we kind of need to help keep the populations in check and enjoy them at the same time," end quote. It is not required that hunters bring their deer in, but is encouraged as it is important to make sure the Upper Peninsula deer populations remain healthy. A 28-year-old man from Lowell is in critical condition after a hunting accident that happened Saturday afternoon. 2 brothers were out hunting in a rural part of Ionia County village of Saranac. They were on a hunt for deer in the dense cornfield when the two became separated. One brother thought he saw a deer and fired 2 shots and realized he had hit his brother. He immediately contacted 911 as the wounded man was airlifted to Grand Rapids. And after this break, we'll be back with national and international news.
Meet Pulitzer Prize-winning Native American master storyteller.
There was a house made of dawn.
N. Scott Momaday.
I am a Kiowa.
His voice had a spiritual connection to the land.
You cannot separate the Native American from the landscape. It is his spirit. And the land was very old and everlasting.
Join us for Words from a Bear.
I turn into a bear on occasion.
N. Scott Momaday on American Masters.
Tonight at 9 on WNMU TV.
Welcome back to Public Eye News. Over the past 4 years, a young boy in Maryland has raised more than $50,000 and helped nearly 3,000 homeless veterans with his hero bags. How young? Just a whopping 8 years old. Tyler Stallings was just 4 years old when he first learned some veterans are homeless. Veterans are part of his family, including his father, uncle, and grandfather, and he always thought of them as heroes. And he wanted to do something special to help them. So he started making what he calls hero bags. During winter, a hero bag could be filled with a hat, gloves, blanket, toothbrushes, and toothpaste, soap, and a whole lot more. In the 4 years Tyler has been helping veterans, he has donated close to 3,000 hero bags and has raised more than $50,000. We are entering the second week of public impeachment hearings, and the Democrats are inviting President Trump to defend himself. Nicole Killian has more details from Capitol Hill.
House Speaker Nancy Pelosi is offering to let a new witness testify in the impeachment inquiry.
The president could come right before the committee and speak all the truth that he wants if he wants to take the oath of office, or he could do it in writing.
President Trump responded on Twitter this morning, even though I did nothing wrong and don't like giving credibility to this no due process hoax, I like the idea and will, in order to get Congress focused again, strongly consider it.
He shouldn't tweet. He should come to the committee and testify under oath, and he should allow all those around him to come to the committee and testify under oath.
Republicans on the impeachment panel want to hear from Wisconsin Senator Ron Johnson, who attended the inauguration of Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky. Intelligence Committee ranking member Devin Nunes and Congressman Jim Jordan sent a letter to the GOP senator. It said, "We reluctantly write to request any firsthand information you have about President Trump's actions toward Ukraine between April and September 2019.
I will lay out what I know in terms of this, and
so are you going to testify?
To a certain extent, some of my perspective. Now, they're not going to call me.
President Trump and Senator Johnson are unlikely to testify at open hearings, but several others will appear this week. 8 more witnesses are scheduled, including 3 on Tuesday, who listened to the July 25th phone call when President Trump asked his Ukrainian counterpart to open political investigations. Nicole Killian, CBS News, Capitol Hill.
Protests in Iran over the skyrocketing fuel prices have ended in tragedy, as 12 people have already been announced dead. People have taken to the streets to protest and have affected traffic, causing accidents throughout the city. The Revolutionary Guards of Iran demand an end to this unrest immediately, as this is causing an international stir. Government officials believe that the tension will soon come to an end, but if not, this will cause major issues. Protesters in Hong Kong have barricaded themselves in universities around the area, but police have now surrounded them. Rami Incencio reports from Hong Kong.
Police pushed past student barricades and into Hong Kong's prestigious Polytechnic University. Smoke filled the air as they chased down protesters, escorting some away in handcuffs.
If the protesters do not initiate the use of force, the police will not initiate the use of force.
Early Monday, the university's president appealed to protesters to abandon violence. But as some students attempted to leave the campus, they retreated in the face of approaching law enforcement. It's the culmination of a days-long standoff. Police armed with riot gear, tear gas, and water cannons. And students stationed behind homemade barricades, equipped with makeshift catapults, slingshots, and petrol bombs. Whoa. At one point, protesters forced a police vehicle to turn back after hitting it with a flurry of explosive fire. Some were even seen with bows and arrows, and photos show an arrow piercing an officer's leg. These protesters attacked an ambulance in an effort to free an injured woman who was also under arrest. And this protester, identified only as Matthew, said, "I do want to leave, but I won't, because there are still a lot of people here, and it is not safe." Now, this standoff has been going on for more than 24 hours. More than 40 people have been arrested. This university, along with colleges across this territory, are closed tomorrow and possibly the rest of this week. Rami Inocencio, CBS News, Hong Kong.
And keep it locked right here, because Maya will be back with weather and Devontae will be back with sports.
On American Experience, the student troupe that saved Fisk University.
If the singers don't bring back some money, the school is going to fold.
they introduced the world to the power of spirituals and challenged racial stereotypes.
The dignity, the carriage, the voice of these young people surprised large numbers.
Jubilee Singers on American Experience.
Tuesday night at 9 on WNMU TV.
I'm Maya Kurth, your weather forecast today. Currently, we're looking at the NMU sky cam. It's cloudy. Classes are winding down for the day. Moving to our current conditions, it's cloudy, 39 degrees, north winds at 3 miles per hour. Barometric pressure is 29.74 inches and falling. This evening, it's also going to be pretty cloudy, low of 31 degrees, west-northwest winds at 2 miles per hour. And tomorrow, it's also going to be partly cloudy, although temperatures are rising, high of 39 degrees, southwest winds at 3 miles per hour. Moving to the Upper Peninsula on the eastern side of the state, in Sault Ste. Marie, it's going to be 38, 37 in Manistee, 38 in Escanaba, 37 in Menominee. Moving to the western side of the state, in Iron Mountain, 37, 34 in Ironwood, 37 in Houghton, and 39 back here in Marquette. And as you can see, it's pretty cloudy throughout the UP. Now, looking ahead, on Wednesday, a high of 43 degrees, low of 35, and partly cloudy. On Thursday, a high of 38, low of 29, and some rain. And Friday, a high of 32, low of 27, and some clouds. I know it's been warming up outside, and I heard it was really heating up on the volleyball courts this weekend as our Wildcats won.
Yes, it was. Thanks, Maya. The women's volleyball team ended their regular season at Lake Superior State University. The women got out the brooms and picked up their 6th sweep of the season. Lizzie Stark led the team on offense with 15 kills as Lauren Durecki added 10. Lauren Van Memorial dished out 33 assists on the day. Sophomore Allie Yacko helped out defensively with 22 digs. The Wildcats finished the regular season at 12-15. The women will play in the GLIAC tournament quarterfinals on Wednesday. Their opponent and location is still undecided. Looking at some Week 11 NFL action, the Lions drop one at home to Dallas, 27-35. The Ravens continue to dominate as they roll past the Texans, 41-7. Lamar Jackson continues his MVP caliber season, having 308 total yards and throwing for 4 touchdowns. New Orleans dominated on the road as they defeated the Buccaneers 34-17. Drew Brees throws for 228 yards with 3 touchdowns, one of them to Michael Thomas, who had 8 receptions for 112 yards. Can't guard Mike finding the record books again, as he is the first receiver with 90-plus receptions through 10 games. The Vikings complete a comeback to notch the Broncos at home, 27-23. New England defeats the Eagles 17-10. This win secures New England's 19th straight winning season. The Bears on Sunday Night Football drop another as the Rams defend their home field 17-7. And rounding up Week 11 action, the Chiefs will travel to LA to take on the Chargers. Kickoff will be at 8:15. Looking ahead into next week, Green Bay will come off their bye week for a powerhouse matchup against the 9-1 49ers. On Saturday, Colin Kaepernick held a workout at a high school an hour away from Atlanta. The NFL originally planned to hold a workout for him at the Atlanta Falcons facility, where they would have sent video footage to all 32 NFL teams. Kaepernick on Saturday then moved the workout to a high school and opened it up to all media. After his workout, Kaepernick addressed the media saying, quote, "I've been ready for 3 years. I've been denied for 3 years. So we're waiting for the 32 owners, 32 teams, and Roger Goodell, all of them, to stop running. I'll interview with any team at any time. I've been ready," unquote. Kaepernick remains an unrestricted free agent available to sign with any given team. And some other sports news. I heard the ski hill is supposed to open up this weekend, right?
Yeah, it's supposed to open up Friday, but there's not a whole lot of snow out on the ground, as you can see from the sky cam. So I wonder, they must be running the snow machines probably every night, trying to get that base snow to a good depth. And that is all the time we have here on Public Eye News. I am Joseph Sigourney.
And I'm Devontae Stein. Have a good night. We'll see you tomorrow.
The preceding program was produced by WNMU-TV, Northern Michigan University Public Television, in studios located in Elizabeth and Edgar Hardin Hall.